in the NBA on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. Let's get into it. The first game is the Grizzlies just blows out the Charlotte Hornets, 131-107. Dylan Brooks, well, nobody played over 30. So if you're betting over on these guys, probably had a rough day. Ja Morant, 27 minutes, had 23 and 8. Desmond Bane had 11 rebounds in those 26 minutes. The Charlotte Hornets were just missing a lot of shots, hit 2 threes. Desmond Bane, before he got hurt, he was a top 25 player. Since coming back, he hasn't been that great. Give him some time. That's what happens when guys get injured. They're not gonna just become what they were right away. So give them a few more games. Steven Adams, wow. He's a must roster. I mean, beginning of the season, he was just maybe just a rebound streamer. The minutes sometimes were he wasn't getting the full minutes. The last week or two, he has been great. This game here, 15 rebounds again, a steal and 2 blocks. Jaren Jackson Jr. also had a decent game, 3 blocks. Yep, he's leading the league in blocks this year, and he might just do it with 8 rebounds, 17 points in just 24 minutes. And Dylan Brooks, they all played well, shot the ball well. For the Charlotte Hornets, even though it was a blowout, LaMelo and PJ Washington still got over 35 minutes. LaMelo has been putting up numbers, but the efficiency has been horrible. You got a pound field goal with him this year. Where is his rank? He's a 25th ranked player. For a guy that's getting drafted late, maybe mid-second round, he's okay, right? He missed a lot of games. But if you draft him at the end of first, or early second, he's not really giving you that value, and he missed a lot of games. But the counting numbers at least is good, and he's shooting 41%. So that's got to go up. But the worry is that Charlotte Hornets are so bad this year toward the end of the season. Is he going to play back-to-backs? It's like the OKC question for Shea. If they out, they're just going to start resting guys. PJ Washington, 15 points is okay. Terry Rozier continued to shoot very, very poorly, but had 2 steals and 3 threes. Mason Plumlee, 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. Still a must roster, still putting up numbers every single day. And Jalen McDaniels needs to be picked up because Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to be out multiple weeks. Gordon Hayward is going to be out. So he should be at least getting 30 minutes, and he can put up numbers. Fairly efficient, can get you some defensive stats, can shoot threes, a little bit of everything. Let's go to the next game, the Phoenix. Oh my God, a lot of games. The Phoenix Suns lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 88-90. Yeah, without Devin Booker, that's what happened. They've just been losing a lot of games. Mikal Bridges, he was great efficiency-wise to start off the season. Another poor shooting night, 3 for 15. But had a steal and 2 blocks. The counting numbers are pretty good. It's just the efficiency. Dario Saric was in the starting lineup. Interestingly, while they are dealing with a lot of injuries. But he's not fantasy relevant. Ayton grabbed 18 rebounds and a steal, but no blocks, 15 points. Landry Shamet is a must roster in my opinion. He had 5 fouls but played 36. He can get you 3 threes a game easy, I think, on average. If he were to get 35 minutes a night. Chris Paul has to do some scoring without Booker. And where is Cam Johnson? We still have no news from him as well. If he does come back, he's also, given the situation, he's a must roster. Chris Paul had 25 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals with 3 threes. Great game from Chris Paul. But Landry Shamet is the pickup here with all the injuries going on. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan, after dropping 71, had just 20 points and 9 assists. And 2 steals. That's great. With Darius Garland out, we could consider streaming Karis LeVert. Great game here. Hit 5 threes. Great efficiency. 2 steals and a block. Overall, very good game. But he was a -8 in his 38 minutes. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Offensively, both guys play very poorly. Mobley, again, no blocks. Again, like second-year players, they didn't really take he specifically did not really improve since his rookie year when it comes to fantasy. Kevin Love coming, had 8. He's a streamer for rebounds and threes. Let's go to the next game. The Oklahoma City Thunder. After scoring 150 points to beat the Celtics. They went to Orlando, lost 115-126. Shea has been just unbelievable. 17 for 18 from the free throw line. How does he do it? No threes, and he's scoring 30 points while barely making threes. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, still in the block, and continues his beast. Josh Giddey, five rebounds, just 4 assists, 16 points. Another sophomore that's been disappointing so far this year. Jalen Williams exit the game with an injury. He wasn't really fantasy relevant. With him out, I don't really. Maybe Kendrick Williams, if he starts, we could stream him. And Jalen Williams continues to. He had just 4 points in 20 minutes, but 5 steals and a block. He's absolutely must roster player at the moment, and I think he's just gonna get better from here. I mean, obviously there'll be games where he, for example, this game, he offensively really poor showing, but he has a lot of upside because he can get you a lot of defensive stats. He can score a little bit. He can shoot the three. Can do a bit of everything. Lou Dort, just 27% from the field again, 13 points with 3 threes. But look at Kendrick Williams. Like if the guy gets 30 minutes, he's gonna put up some great numbers. Great fantasy player. Get some rebounds, threes, defensive stats. For the Magic, they started this guy called Caleb Houston, who played 28 minutes. They're also dealing with a lot of injuries as well. Bobo was out. Wendell Carter Jr. is finally healthy, played 30 minutes. That's great. Not injuries. Wow, they did not play a game since, I guess the suspension is this week. Wendell Carter Jr. played 30 minutes. That's great. He's a must roster. 13 rebounds, 13 points with 2 blocks. Pablo had 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. Everything, like the counting numbers are great, just the efficiency. Garrett Harris came in, played 27. Markelle Fultz had a decent game. Markelle Fultz is a must roster as well. Him and Cole Anthony, I think at the moment, Markelle Fultz is starting and getting more minutes over Cole Anthony. And if they're both given 30 minutes, I probably prefer Markelle Fultz. Cole Anthony, a couple years ago, maybe last year, he with every single guard injured, he was averaging 20 points. But this year, he just doesn't have the opportunity. And now you have Pablo coming with a 20-point score. So he's just not going to get the numbers he was getting last year. Let's go to the next game. This game went overtime. The Indiana Pacers lost to Philadelphia Sixers, 126-129. You haven't seen the highlight, check it out. I think Philadelphia was down by 4 points, and the Pacers just had a back-to-back turnover, and they forced overtime, and then they lose. From a fantasy perspective, interestingly, Buddy Hield and Andrew Nembhard got the most minutes. Buddy Hield had a huge game. He took 22 field goals. I don't know if Sixers, the defensive scheme or whatever, but Buddy Hield took 22 field goals. You don't see that very often. 6 threes, 9 rebounds, 6 assists was a huge game from him. Aaron Naismith, we could stream him. He played just 22 minutes here. A lot of the backup minutes went to Benedict Mathurin, who had also had a decent game. 9 for 10 from the free throw line is really good. 19 points. But Naismith, he can shoot threes. He can get some defensive stats. Doesn't really hurt you anywhere, so could be a good stream. Miles Turner had 5 blocks, 8 rebounds, and a steal. Big game from him. And Tyrese Halliburton has fallen off a little bit, but still had 12 assists and 2 steals and a block. Still a first-round player. Still comfortably a first-round player. We look at the Sixers. With Tyrese Maxey back, Joel Embiid was out this game. So DeAnthony Melton just doesn't matter what position of guys he's out. He's the guy that Doc Rivers loves, right? Joel Embiid out, no problem. We're going to start you, give you 37 minutes. You're going to be small forward, and TJ Tucker is going to be the center. No defensive stats, but 19 points, 5 threes. So we're still going to hold on to it. Tyrese Maxey, after Doc Rivers saying he's going to come off the bench for a while, they just started him with Joel Embiid out. So let's see what happens when Joel Embiid does come back. Either way, he's a must roster. Had a decent game. And Harden, 26, 8 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. A great game from Harden. Tobias Harris had 19 and 10. And Montrezl Harrell had a huge game. Like, if Joel Embiid gonna miss another game, I may not even stream Montrezl Harrell. A steal and 4 blocks. He usually doesn't provide the defensive stats. Let's go to the next game. The Knicks barely beat the Spurs at New York, 114-117. Devin Vassell was out this game. And yeah, I mean, they're just resting guys. I don't think Devin Vassell has a serious injury. Keldon Johnson had 26 points with 2 threes, 10 for 12 on the free throw line is good. But again, no defensive stats. That's the problem with him. Jeremy Sancha, who's been getting some defensive stats, so we could have him on our roster. Didn't score, had 5 fouls, but had a steal and a block with 4 assists. Pirtle has been very, very disappointing and continues to disappoint. 8 rebounds, a steal and a block. It's okay, but just haven't seen him have one really good game in a while. Trey Jones had 6 assists and a steal. And again, the minutes is just low. This game, Josh Richardson coming and play 29. He's not going to play 29 every minute, but the starters, they're not getting 33 minutes a night. They're getting 27, 28. They're just playing everybody. Pirtle and Collins, they're sharing minutes. So fantasy-wise, that's bad for everybody if you own Spurs guys. For the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson had a huge game. 38 points with 3 threes, 63% from the field. Julius Randle, 9 for 26. That's not ideal with RJ out, but look at that. 13 rebounds. 6 for 11 from the free throw line is undoubtedly bad, but 3 steals and 4 blocks. That's got to be the best career. 7 stocks from Randle. That's got to be the best he's ever had. Spurs were just turning the ball over, getting blocked. Quentin Grimes, I think it is, Emmanuel Quickly is a must roster at the moment for sure. Same thing with Quentin Grimes. With RJ out, they're gonna get 30 plus minutes, and they play Emmanuel Quickly 45 minutes, 15 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. So as long as RJ is out, these 2 guys, they're must rosters. And Mitchell Robinson had played just 13 minutes with 5 fouls. Isaiah Hartenstein coming and played 20. Both guys obviously did not have a good game. The next game is also wild. Milwaukee Bucks. Again, I think with 3 minutes left, they had like 20-point lead. 3-4 minutes left, they had some crazy leads and they threw it away. Giannis, he was not gonna play a back-to-back, and he did. 30 points after dropping 55, 21 rebounds and 10 assists. Great game from him. Pat Connaughton had 5 threes. Javon Carter thought he would be a good stream with the back-to-back horrible games, where he had 4 personal fouls this game, and he had like 4 or 5 last game as well. Had 0 points, so that's very, very disappointing. And consider with Jrue Holiday out, and also Chris Middleton, you would think that's a good stream, but too bad, unlucky. We could just drop him and move on. Grayson Allen had 2 threes, and Brook Lopez had 2 blocks and 19 rebounds. How many shots did they miss? Well, both teams. So that's interesting. The Bucks shot 30 free throws to 20 of the Toronto Raptors. But Toronto Raptors took, 20 more shots than them? 20 more field goals almost? They just had a lot of... And the Bucks had 73 rebounds versus 47. The stats are all over the place in this one. OG missed a bunch of shots but had 4 steals, which is great. 9 rebounds. Scotty Bombs did a bit of everything, but again, the efficiency is the problem. Pascal Siakam, a horrible game, 4 for 18. Yeah. I think, he would struggle versus the Bucks interior. Right? You got Brook Lopez, you got Giannis in there. Gary Trent Jr. and Fred VanVleet both went 8 for 23. Both had a decent game. It's good to see Fred VanVleet finally has a great game. 28 points with 12 assists. And this game on overtime, they scored barely scored over 100 points. That's crazy. Finally, the Brooklyn Nets lost. And sometimes when KD plays really well, when KD has to score a lot, the Nets struggle. because offensively, if they had it going, KD does need to score 44 points. But KD has just been a beast, and 2 or 3 years removed from having the Achilles injury. How many games did he really miss? And not much, and he's playing heavy minutes and just balling. Kyrie also didn't shoot the ball well, but had 25 points, 8 assists, 2 steals and block. That's good enough. Royce O'Neal 0 for 9. What? You could still have him, but he's been in a shooting slump lately. And Ben Simmons went 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 26 minutes. Sure, he had some foul trouble. But he's on the court, I think, putting up decent numbers. If you draft him late, for sure. In category leagues, he's returning that value. And Claxton continues to just getting the blocks, getting the steals, getting some rebounds. Great. Again, Claxton and Pirtle, they're supposed to be kind of similar value coming into the draft. If anything, Claxton should be picked later than Pirtle, but he's been so much more better. For the Bulls, DeRozan had 22 points, was still in the block. An okay game. Petri, they all scored like 20 points, around 20 points. Vucevic had a great game. Patrick Williams had a great game. Zach LaVine had just 13 points, but had 2 blocks. Zach LaVine has been disappointing, and he's kind of continues to disappoint. Ayo Downsomo had 17 points. Yeah, not much to say. A great win for the Bulls, but Zach has been somewhat disappointing this year. We'll go to the next game. The Portland Trail Blazers lost to the Timberwolves, 106-113. Jeremy Grant, another great game, 57%, 26 points with 3 steals, 4 threes, 6 for 6 from free throw. I want to say sell high. If you can get a top 30 or 40 player, you do it. But can he continue his great season? Yusuf Nurkic fouled out in 25 minutes, but 8 rebounds and still in 3 blocks. It's great. But if he's really killing you with his efficiency, 4 for 10, 2 for 5 from the free throw line with 4 turnovers. Josh Hart, speaking of Josh Hart, yeah. Also, what is going on in this game? Some guys just playing really, really poorly. Had 1 point, a steal and 2 blocks. Damian Lillard had 27 points, missed a bunch of free throws, right? Poor efficiency. And Fernie Simons was a minus 15. Yeah, nobody really played well, but in terms of fantasy, nobody on this team is really worth discussing, right? Drew Eubanks might be the only guy if Yusuf Nurkic is out, but they don't really have a lot of good fantasy players on this team. We look at the Timberwolves. Yep, Kyle Anderson is the must roster. 5 assists, still in the block. Jaden McDaniels had 2 blocks. Minutes is a bit low for Jaden because of the foul trouble. Anthony Edwards took 26 field goal attempts while D'Lo only took 6. That's interesting. Why would you only take 6 shots, D'Lo? I don't know. 7 assists and a steal for D'Lo. But D'Lo is a guy that we should try to, to be honest, Anthony Edwards too. Try to sell him before Cat comes back. There's no way you would take 26 field goals with Cat playing. 32 points is great. Counting numbers are great. He's been really, really good ever since Cat got hurt. Rudy Gobert had 12 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Also a great game from him. Go to the next team. The Houston Rockets lost to the Pelicans. The news came out that Zion's going to be out multiple weeks. So there's some guys you could pick up. We'll get to them later. Kevin Porter Jr. was a minus 23. A rough game. Jalen Green continued to play kind of rough. Another sophomore who is having no improvement so far this season. Emperor Şengün, the numbers look great. 2 steals and block, 5 assists and 4 rebounds. But why only 22 minutes? Jabari Smith grabbed 13 rebounds, 2 steals and block. Yeah, Jabari Smith, if he pounding field goal, you can't really complain. It just with the young guys, the efficiency could be tough, but he's providing such great counting numbers. And with Zion out for multiple weeks, Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy, also Brandon Ingram out. So these are the guys that we should stream. And Larry Nance Jr., if he comes back, we could also stream him. So I think Valanciunas is going to have a great time. Try to sell high on him before Zion comes back. 16 points, 17 rebounds, and 32 minutes. Immediately the minutes shoot up. Herbert Jones also, I think he's a must roster play. Just 30 minutes here. Took one shot and went to the free throw line 6. Weird stat. But 2 steals and block is not. You mainly get him for defensive stats, and he won't hurt you efficiency wise. Very, very efficient. Won't turn the ball over. CJ also is going to eat with all the guys out. 28 points and 6 assists with 5 threes. Trey Murphy and RJ Marshall both had a decent game. Both guys that, could be streaming options because they could both put up some numbers. We go to the next game. This one was a surprise. Detroit beat Warriors at home. 120-119. Well, at Warriors. Bogdanovic, 29 points. Yep. He's going to eat. But where is this team going? Nowhere. So I don't know why he's scoring so much, doing so much. Isaiah Stewart played 30 minutes. That's great. 13 points and 7 rebounds and a block. Sure, I think we could roster him. But the worry is, his rebound numbers dipped playing alongside Jalen Durant. Jalen Durant, 8 for 8 from the field. That's really great. 11 rebounds, that's really great. 18 points is really good. But absolutely no assists, no steals, no blocks. He needs to get more defensive stats, but he's a must roster either way. Killian Hayes, also a must roster. He served his 3-game suspension. He had 13 assists and a steal. His field goal is going to be rough. He might turn the ball over a lot, but the assists and the steals are pretty valuable. Jaden Ivey played just 27 minutes because, Alec Burks and Saddiq Bey, those guys are getting 30 minutes. Sure, 5 for 14 is still bad. Again, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. He is just destroying your efficiencies. But I think it's okay. If you're looking for this, if you're counting, let's say, field goal and turnovers, it's fine to have him. Otherwise, a stream guy, just a stream guy. Or you could wait for him to get hot. Every once in a while, he's going to have those good games, but I don't think he's a must roster. For the Golden State Warriors, Dante DiVincenzo had 5 points and 3 assists. A really rough game, but we can hold him until Curry comes back. The minutes is there. Kevon Looney, 15. Kevon Looney has a huge game. Usually when you play a bad team, right, there are a lot of defensive stat opportunities for you to pick up, and they're going to miss a lot of shots. So Kevon Looney soaked up all the rebounds and defensive stats. That's great. Draymond, just 1 block, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. You can do better, but Draymond's just not trying. I think it's more of an effort thing. Klay Thompson, 30 points. Yes. Also try to sell him before Curry comes back. Same thing with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, the points is nice, the threes is nice, the free throw, but really no defensive stats, high turnover, low field goal. So he's hurting you in a lot of areas. Another guy tried to sell him. All right, we got 2 more games. This one was a surprise. The Miami Heat lost to the Lakers without LeBron. Bam, offensively, Bam has been great. Another 30-point game with 2 steals and 3 blocks, 13 rebounds. He's been great. I think that the knock on him in the last 2-3 seasons is everything's Kyle Lowry got there. He's not getting the assist and the lack of defensive stats. And as a team, Tyler Hero had a pretty rough game, no defensive stats. Hopefully he bounced back. Same thing with Kyle Lowry. Jimmy Butler had 3 steals, 4 assists, 27 points. Great. It's just how many games can Jimmy play? Whenever he plays, he's the first-round player. Even this year, 10th ranked player. Victor Oladipo is interesting. He played 31 minutes, while Caleb Martin only getting 21. He's going to miss a bunch of games, but I think we got to look at him and think about, because he could get you a lot of defensive stats. He's going to miss some back-to-backs, but I think the upside is there, so I don't mind rostering him. For the LA Lakers with LeBron out, Dennis Schroeder played 40 minutes. Yeah. But he's just a stream guy in the short term, and try to sell him if you can. Russell Westbrook, with LeBron out, he still comes off the bench. So that's fine. Played 36 minutes, almost a triple-double, 3 steals. Really good, really great from Westbrook. Thomas Bryant is a must roster with AD out, and we don't know when AD is coming back. 9 for 11, that's the thing. He's a really good field goal guy. 21 points and 9 rebounds. And Austin Reeves, 5 for 5 from the free throw line is good, but not much else. But a great win for the Lakers. They got this one. last game of the night, Atlanta Hawks. So also a close one. Beat the Kings 120-117. Okongwu had 5 fouls, but still played 32 minutes in the block. 7 rebounds, 8 points. He's a must roster as long as Capella is out. John Collins, he's been eating a little bit with Capella out. 12 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, 1 point. A great game. I would try to sell him if I can. DeAndre Hunter shot the ball well. Wow, this line looked really pretty. In my opinion, he's just a guy that we want to stream. But 35 minutes of playing time, it's great. Usually, he just give you points and threes. Bogdanovic came off the bench, played 32, hit 3 threes and 17 points and 8 rebounds. They all play well. Trey, 0 rebounds. That sucks. Only 6 assists. And Devontae Murray, the assist numbers has just completely disappeared coming back. I always doubted that both him and Trey, how are they getting their assists? I mean, Trey's still getting his assists, but Devontae has dipped a lot. But the defensive set's still there. So that's just something to keep note of. We look at the Kings. Darren Fox, another decent game, 25 points. Harder, 24 points with 4 threes. So, yeah. These Kings guys, man. Sabonis, another played close to 40 minutes. 20 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and block. He's just putting up crazy counting numbers, and his field goal is really good. The problem with him is he doesn't shoot any threes, and his free throw is bad. But everything else, man, he's picked it up. Beginning of the season, he's kind of a little bit suspect, but now he's fully playing super well. Keegan Murray played just 26 minutes, but had 7 rebounds. It's fine. I think it's fine to continue to hold on to him. It's not easier to hold on to Keegan Murray versus, let's say, what's the guy on the Jaden Ivey. Harrison Barnes had 22 points as well. No, not bad. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.